But now for a part of the welcome that for me plays a special part as the Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to afford a very special welcome to all the investors, all the business owners here in the room today. You deserve special recognition because in our view, you are the genuine champions of our economy. You are the risk takers, you're the job makers, you're the innovators, and you're the territory's future makers. Welcome to the businesses here today, the owners of these businesses who moved some time ago from interstate to invest in your vision and your family's future. To our newly arrived Australians, business owners who have recently arrived from around the world to invest in their dreams, welcome to you. We're grateful you chose the Territory and we're grateful that you invested here. To all the Territorians also who some time ago migrated to Australia, and many of you have since or still are raising families while also growing your businesses that you've invested in, but you still have those great and gorgeous accents that remind us of just how far away you came to make the Territory a better place. Thank you. To the Territorians here today that are first, second, third and fourth generation of migrants who travelled here to the Territory seeking a better future for their families by establishing businesses here. Your continuing legacy of entrepreneurship, building on the vision, sacrifice and determination of those who came before you is noticed every day. And I'd particularly like to finish with a recognition to the business owners and investors here today that are the descendants of this great land's First Peoples. Your entrepreneurship and cultural strength enrich your people and all Territorians, supporting our economy and our community. As business owners and investors, you all share one thing. You choose the Territory. You invested here along with your vision, drive and your determination. You could choose anywhere else. You could choose anywhere else today, but you still choose the Northern Territory because you back the Territory.
The Chamber represents businesses across every industry, from sole traders to major employees across all our regions and our capital city. And that breadth is strength, but it also demands focus, or we risk operating ineffectively as a mile wide and an inch deep. Our role is not to solve every problem for every business. Businesses are excellent problem solvers. We all do it every day. Our role is to help influence conditions in which businesses can operate, invest and grow. The Chamber is here to act as a force multiplier, turning individual experience into collective insight, and collective insight into outcomes. Individually, a business has a voice. Collectively, through the Chamber, business can have influence. Of the 6,000 or so micro businesses and SMEs in the Territory, around 1 in 6 of those are members of the Chamber. That level of engagement is one that many state chambers would be proud to claim. So as we look to the year ahead, the Chamber's priorities are disciplined and deliberate. A stronger Territory economy depends on keeping economic activity circulating locally, which in turn depends on building local private sector capacity, strengthening procurement pathways, and reducing unnecessary leakage outside of the Territory. We will, of course, continue to champion, support and connect local business, so they are positioned not just to survive, but to thrive and invest and scale. That means helping business navigate increasingly complex regulatory and workplace environments, strengthening connections between local SMEs and major projects, and ensuring the Territory businesses are visible, capable and competitive. The Northern Territory has always been built by people willing to think big, work hard and work together. So the year ahead is about putting the right conditions in place so that business can do what it does best: invest, grow and build the Territory's future.
This time last year I stood here and promised that 2025 would be our year of action, certainty and security, and I'm very proud to say that we delivered that. This year will be anchored by growth, certainty and security. Growth in our economy, our workforce and our population. Certainty for families, businesses and investors. And security in our communities, our jobs and our way of life. And for the first time in a very, very long time, the Territory is moving forward. The Territory is being recognised as a competitive place to live, work, visit and invest. To recap 2025, we removed payroll tax for small and medium business. We started delivering 48 of the 70 recommendations in the Approvals Fast Track Task Force Say Yes to Business report, and all 48 of those are due for completion in July this year. We modernised procurement by simplifying direct purchasing from Territory businesses. We raised Tier 1 and 2 purchasing caps and appointed long-term local Tom Harris as our Territory procurement champion. In 2025, Minister for International Education, Migration and Population, Roman Carl, redesigned the Designated Area Migration Agreement, expanding the list of occupations for skilled overseas workers, implemented tax relief for employers with apprentices, and invested more in targeted training initiatives. To grow our economy, we must also grow our population, and I don't need to tell you that. ComSec put us first place for population growth, but we have to do better in 2026. We want people to come to the Territory and stay here, build their lives here, and our homegrown building scheme is helping Territorians and those who've chosen to move here to achieve that dream of owning their own home. We have been, and in 2026 will remain, focused on our 5 key economic drivers and strengths of the Territory as we make changes necessary to rebuild the economy. Those 5 key strengths are defence, energy, agriculture, mining and tourism. In 2026, there is a large body of work and reform that continues on into 27 as part of our NATESMO reforms that we passed in Parliament last year. Last year, we approved 2 game-changing infrastructure projects worth $210 million, the Territory's first ever Beetaloo pipeline and approval to recover appraisal gas for sale, paving the way for the construction of the $140 million Stuart Plateau compression facility. Together, these projects establish the first clear pathway to market for Beetaloo gas in 2026. In Q4 this year, we expect to see Beetaloo gas powering Territory homes and businesses, with Tamboran Resources and Beetaloo Energy having cleared all necessary approvals to reach market. Santos is set to commence drilling shortly at some point this year, and further confidence in the Beetaloo and the Territory's energy future is growing.
Over the past 12 months, across energy, defence, resources and infrastructure, we've seen real activity across the Northern Territory, and I thank you. At our offshore LNG facilities, refits, major shutdowns and new fields being connected, and carbon capture projects moving forward too. Defence investment has continued across multiple bases in parallel, including the largest US military-funded project being undertaken at RAF Darwin right now. In resources, the Beetaloo Basin is on the verge of production. Pipeline expansions are underway. Projects like Arafura Resources are attracting global attention even ahead of construction. And in Darwin, cranes are back in the sky. Multi-storey developments are coming out of the ground. Data centres are being built and airport terminal upgrades are already progressing. Even projects like the shiplift, with all of its problems, present real dollars being spent in the Northern Territory economy. Local capability understood and promoted, and businesses matched to opportunity in a commercial way. When that happens, outcomes improve. Risk is reduced, businesses have time to prepare, and more value stays in the Territory economy. From that lens, today's address provides useful context for industry about where the effort and investment are likely to flow over the coming year. What today sets the frame for is the year ahead is about converting potential into opportunity.